Hello guys, hope you are all doing fine. This is Sahid and I'm glad to welcome you to Visa Pathfinders. Today we shall be discussing the Atlantic Immigration Program. AIP is a pathway to permanent residence for skilled foreign workers and international graduates from a Canadian institution who want to work and live in one of Canadians' four Atlantic provinces of New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, Newfoundland and Labrador. So the AIP replaced the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, which is the AIPP. You can now submit your permanent residency application to this program. The website will be put on the screen right now. Building upon the success of the pilot that started in 2017, the AIPP was made permanent on the 17th of December 2021 and accordingly was renamed AIP. So the new permanent program officially opened on January 1st, 2022. The Atlantic Immigration Program, the AIP, is a type of immigration program that allows employers in the Atlantic provinces of Canada to hire immigrants for jobs. You can apply for permanent residence via this program. The province will endorse the job offer before the permanent residence application is however done. What is it about this program? The Atlantic Immigration Program, the AIP, helps to hire qualified candidates for jobs that have been difficult to fill locally, like I said earlier. So the candidates can be from abroad or living in Canada as temporary residents. With a job offer from an approved employer are in a position to move to one of the provinces as long as they fulfill other criteria. So once job is offered to a candidate and the candidate is accepted, there are several steps for the employer and the candidates to complete. If the employer and candidate meet all the requirements, then the candidates may then apply for permanent residence status in Canada. The link for this would also be put on the screen now. Ensuring the job offer and the candidates meet the program requirements, it's a key part of this AIP. So the AIP has its own requirements for hiring candidates. The job should be a permanent position, especially if the job is in the NOC TER category 4, home child care workers, retail sales personnel, among others. Also, it is expected that there should be a skill level at the same or higher than the work experience that qualifies the candidate for the position he's applying for. So for instance, for certain healthcare sector occupation, you don't need to have a job offer at the same skill level or higher than the one you're applying for. So a qualifying job, for instance, like a practical nurse or a registered nurse, to serve as an experience to use for a job such as those of nursing aides or hardlies or patient service associates. These are the general job requirements. For the candidate requirements, for you to be eligible for the AIP program, you must have qualifying work experience unless you are an international graduate of a recognized post-secondary institution in Atlantic Canada. You must meet or exceed the educational requirements. So the educational requirements basically you having the commensurate educational requirement for each level of the job. For instance, if you have the TER 0 or 1 category, you must have a 1-year Canadian post-secondary education credential or higher, or its equivalent from outside of Canada. And if you have a job in the TER level 2, 3, 4 category, you must have a Canadian high school diploma or equivalent from outside of Canada. However, if you've studied outside of Canada, you would need to do an educational credential assessment, which is the ECA. And this is used for you to confirm that your studies are equal or higher than the required level of education for your job offer. Your ECA report must be less than 5 years old on the date that the application is received. The educational credential must have been obtained within 24 months prior to the date that you applied for a permanent residency. You need to also meet or exceed the language requirement. For jobs that fall into the TER category 0, 1, 2, 3 would be a Canadian language benchmark 5, while if you fall into the TER level category 4, it would be a Canadian language benchmark 4. You need to also show that you've got enough money to support yourself and your family when you get to Canada. So basically you need to show that you've got enough financial resources to support yourself and your family when you get to Canada. And the link to see where you can get all those details will be put on the screen as well now. If you're already living or working in Canada with a valid work permit, then you don't need to show any kind of proof of fund. So if you have met all of these requirements, then you're good to go. If you met all these requirements, then you can start looking for a job with a designated Atlantic employer. And what do you need to do? You will need to seek job opportunities with the designated employers as they are made available on the provincial websites. The link will be put on the screen now as well, so you can find a suitable employer. So are there settlement plans for people who have been offered a job in the Atlantic region? Actually, settlement service provider organizations in each province to support a newcomer employee and their family. This brings us to the end of today's video. If you need help with specifics or any individualized services in particular, please feel free to contact us at visapathfinders@gmail.com. I hope that this video has been incredibly helpful. Thank you and see you some other time. Bye.